Hi, I'm Celie Rabb. I attend Wendy's workshops quite regularly. And I must say that regardless of the topic, there is always a lesson to learn. There is always enlightenment that you walk away with. And I very often use the analogy that Wendy's workshops, when I walk out personally, it's almost like being given a GPS to follow until we meet again at the next workshop.
Wendy is amazing. Her energy is incredible and beautiful and loving and just pure, genuine light. And it's just amazing to be here around incredible women.
Yeah, it was very amazing when she was sending the energy. I felt it. Especially on this side. I don't know why this side, but that's what I felt. And of course, the loving part that we have to practice. So thank you, Wendy.
I like her workshops because she gives real life examples.
Thank you, Wendy. We love you.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I really enjoyed the workshop tonight. I thought, we were just discussing that I thought it was going to be about business success, and it turned out that it was, I was able to relate it to my own success with conflicts and with family members and so forth, and I got a lot out of it. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoy the most part of it isn't just about business success. She talks about the underlying feelings of what makes a business succeed, but it's also
Your life success.
the life success.
Right.
This was my first time meeting Wendy, and it was a great positive experience, and I'll definitely be back. Wendy's workshop was extraordinary. You know, she talked about divine purpose, and I believe that my purpose for being here today was to hear about the opportunity that I get to bless the people in my life who have created that oomph in my stomach that she talked about today. And I feel so much better because on my way here I was thinking about those two people, and I already feel a difference. So thank you, I love you, and I appreciate you.
Everything that Wendy shares with us is based on life experience. It's based on proven methods, and above all, it's proven with her heart.
So what I want to do right now is to actually set the tone and the vibration for the room. And you can actually set the vibration in a room. And we're going to talk more about that. So what's interesting, right, when you walk into a room, you can feel when the room feels really good. So you can feel the vibration. You can actually feel the thought energy from the people that are actually in the room, and the same thing in reverse. So when you walk into a room and it's really dense and heavy and you don't know what's going on and you don't know what they've experienced, and you walk into that and you can feel it, right? And so that's what we're talking about, vibration. And so we're talking about the vibration in the same sentence as we're talking about success, right? So just to share a little bit about my background, a lot of you do know, but for 45 years, I had lived an okay life. It was more like up and down. There were some highs where I would be doing really well and feeling okay, but it was always temporary. Like I couldn't withstand that, sustain it, right? And so, but most of the time I would come crashing down, and then I would have these experiences which seemed to be just kind of in my path. And I just thought that was the way life was. It's up, it's down, you have good, you have bad, and so you feel good and you feel bad, and you feel up and you feel sad and you feel depressed. And so I just thought that was just part of the package, right, of life. And it wasn't until 6 years ago when I went through my own transformation that I'm still going through, we're always going through it, right, evolving and changing and growing, that I stumbled upon new experiences. I thought, wow, okay, so I could stretch the good feeling longer and longer and longer and longer, so that that is now the dominant feeling, and I'm so passionate about it. Oh, come on in. We'll help you in. I recognize Andy. I'm like, I recognize her. And and that is why I've become so incredibly passionate about sharing, about sharing tools and techniques and systems that I kind of stumbled upon, right? So that we can all have that experience of feeling good, feeling a really good vibration, and stretch it out so it has stickiness. And to know that there's a formula, that there's actually a combination. And so once you know what that combination is, and sometimes you have to go back to it and say, okay, I have to keep dialing it, I have to keep dialing it, but that you could get back to that vibration, back to that feeling of feeling good, right? One, and then attracting success over here. Because the two are so married together, they're really not separate. And we think of success as something that we do and we achieve, but success is something that we actually become. So before we continue, because we have a new guest in the room, right? And we want to formally greet you and welcome you. What we did when we just started was we went around the room and everybody just said their name and introduced themselves. And then the rest of us beamed positive thoughts, love, and light and blessings to that person. So we would love to be able to share those same vibes with you. Okay, so welcome.
Thank you. So I introduce myself?
Yes?
I thought that was the introduction right there. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Michelle. I'm an educator. I teach students with special needs, kindergarten through 10th grade. I also have my own business called Virtue in a Pocket. And I also run an art program on the weekends called Under 21. I'm excited to be here, so thank you.
Well, we all send you love, light, and blessings as we beam those to you now. So we're so happy to have you with us tonight. So the definition of vibration, what is a vibration, right? We hear the abbreviated version of vibe, right? I know Amy even drives a car that's called a vibe, right? Hey, I got to, soul, okay. Okay, see, all right, so, but there is a car that's called a vibe, okay? There is a car that's vibe, right? So a vibration, it's like a pulsating, right? So we have an electromagnetic energy that runs through our body and actually projects outside of our body. We've heard of the aura around us, and it comes outside, and that's why we can feel each other's energy in a room. And what's interesting about it is you can take your energy and you can move it. You can move your energy out and you can move your energy in. And we don't even think about this, right? Nobody really talks about it. They certainly don't talk about it in school. But we just have a sense that maybe that's true, but we don't know what to do with it, right? We just know when we feel good, we're vibrating a good feeling. And when we don't feel so good, well, we're vibrating a feeling that's not so great, right? So you've got vibration over here, right? What is vibration? And then you've got success over here. And success is defined so differently for each one of us. So traditionally, or the old way of thinking with success, right, was what? Money, house, car, right? Jewelry, right? That's how we define success. Now, when you have a great, amazing house or this fabulous car that you're driving in, what is it about the house or the car that makes us feel what? We feel good, right? But what do we actually feel? So when we walk into our house and we've got this magnificent house, like, do we really care about the house? We care about walking in the house.
How it makes us
how it makes us feel.
The feeling and how we can relax.
Content, relaxed, at peace, happy, right? It puts a smile on our face when we walk in the house or driving the car, right? And we feel safe, we feel secure, we feel happy. When we're wearing the jewelry, how do we feel? When we're wearing the jewelry. Like, right? We're like, by the way, I borrowed these earrings from my mom. So we feel, you know, we feel special, right? We feel seen, right? Acknowledged, right? Maybe cared for. So it's really the feeling that we're looking for instead of really like all this stuff. And we're kind of coming full circle. We're sort of getting there slowly. Many people are transforming the way that they think about all of the stuff and getting more aligned with the feeling. And hey, listen, great stuff, beautiful house and car, they're all wonderful. And we all deserve to live a wealthy and happy and secure life, all of those things, right? But what we have learned in the new economy, in the new world, that they can come and they can go, right? So, but the feeling inside of you, to be able to tap into that feeling and be able to bring forth the feeling that you get from the stuff, you're still able to do that whether you have stuff or not by just reframing the way that you think. And what's interesting about success, right? What do we notice about people that are really super successful? So what are some of the traits that we see in those people? Confidence. Committed. So committed to right, something bigger than themselves, right? Really committed to make a difference, like you are, right? So committed, driven, disciplined, optimistic, right? Optimistic, passionate, right? Really passionate, and high energy. We'll talk about that energy, right? Where's that energy come from? Where do you get high energy? Because successful people, right, they seem to be able to work 10 and 12 hours and go and go and go and go and go. How are they able to do that, right? So I know 6 years ago, I used to get very lethargic and tired in between. Like I would work and then I'd come home and I was exhausted, right? You collapse on the sofa and you feel like you just need to rest. Well, the interesting thing is I am working way more hours now, way. And that feeling, poof, I have so much energy, right? So you become energized when you are aligned and you have tapped into the vibration and really bring up the energy, vibration, you can bring that forth. Now here's the interesting thing about vibration and energy and success. They are there for all of us to tap into. So all of us can have all of those things, the feelings, right? It may not be exactly what you want when you want it, but the feeling associated, you can have it first, right? You can experience it first in your beingness, right? Just by visualizing it and thinking about it, or tapping into and paying attention to the things that you already have and being grateful for those first. So how do you attract more success in your life? And how do you become more energized so that you have more energy? And I know, Carolina, you're experiencing this right now because Carolina just launched her coaching practice this month. And I work with Carolina individually. So one thing I do know is how energized you are. How many hours have you been working the past couple weeks?
Up to 1:30 in the morning. Wow.
Smiling, ready to go, right? Can't wait for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right?
Yeah.
And what's happening too?
The best part is it doesn't feel like work. I mean, when you're doing something that you're really passionate about, it doesn't feel like work. So, yeah, that's
And also, so what is happening in your business? Now, you formally launched your business a week ago. So in defining success, would you say that you've had a successful week?
Very successful week.
Okay. So again, it's the energy, it's the vibration, and then marrying all that together is going to attract the success like a magnet. How do we become a magnet to draw more of what we do want in our lives and then less of what we don't want? And so it all starts with us, right? That's the only thing that we can control, and our thoughts. And so in the very beginning, just even setting an intention, so goals, and I just taught a goal workshop last week, we were talking about goals. So goals are actually just writing down goals and thinking about what your goals are and setting a target for your goals. And then intention over here comes from here. It's your heart. It's what you feel. So you set an intention. You set a goal to launch your business, right? And then you set an intention now to make a difference in the lives of women that are going through a transition. That's very, very different, right? So when you set an intention, you start to vibrate. And when you vibrate, it's like a magnet. And the more that you can hold that vibration, that level of vibration, and you can amp it up. So it starts at one level, and then you can amp it up and amp it up and amp it. Like you can turn it on. But slowly over time. It's not like you can just take it and go, whoof, right? Because you won't be able to do that. You can only do it when you're ready. And so you do it a little bit at a time. But so you can really amp up your power and become like a magnet. So we know we've all attracted something in our lives that we wanted. Said, wow, that happened, right? You can think of something right now that you wanted and you were able to attract it. And so the same way that you can do that maybe once a month or once, every couple months, then you can start to do that once every couple weeks or once every week or maybe once a day or maybe a few times during the day when you start paying attention to your vibration. And so how do you know if you're vibrating at a high level? You feel really good. You feel it. You know it. You're the things that like the phrases like you're in flow, right? And so you're happy and time just goes by. You are so aligned with your authentic truth. And so if you are vibrating at a lower level and you're not really getting what you want, it's because what we do is we have a foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. So we can do it some of the times. So how do we actually bring forth more of that so that's who we are in the state of our being every day? So even setting a goal or setting an intention to have a high vibration. Anybody set that as an intention during the day? To have a high vibration? Okay, so half of the room sets an intention to have a high vibration during the day. So then what happens? When do you do that? In the morning? Okay, so you do it in the morning. And then throughout the day, and that's where if you, and who in the room meditates? I know probably half of the room does meditation, right? So has a regular meditation practice. And so to take pauses throughout the day and evaluate where you are. So to set a goal first thing in the morning, on a 1 to 10, I set a goal today to have an amazing, fabulous day, right? So that would be like a 9 or 10. And then to keep asking yourself throughout the day, what am I right now? And how am I feeling right now? So if I'm feeling that I'm a 7, right, just set a goal right then and there to raise your vibration. And so what we did in the beginning of class, where we were sending out vibration to somebody else, so when you send out vibration to somebody else, and what happens in prayer and intention setting, sometimes we would set intention for ourselves, right? A lot for ourselves. And so in sending out good thoughts and vibration and love and blessings to other people instantly raises your vibration. And so, in setting the intention in the morning or setting the goal to raise the vibration, you can send a high vibration or send the love, light, and blessings to somebody else. Now, who would we normally think to send good thoughts to and blessings? Our children, our family. And so that's all really significant and really important. And then there is the globe, right? There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on where? Israel, Syria, Afghanistan. There's a lot going on, right? So in taking a moment right now, when we went around the room, for those that needed some extra, like we could feel it, right? To send a little extra. If somebody says that they're not feeling well, we want to send extra. We want to send blessings and healing, right? So the world right now could use some of that, a lot of that. So when you take your thoughts and you go outside of yourself and you focus on somebody else, maybe for you, it could be the globe, the world, the planet. It could be Israel. It could be Syria and Afghanistan. And then send them good thoughts. So let's do that right now, okay? So let's put our feet flat on the floor. And take a deep inhale. Inhaling in joy and happiness. And sending love and compassion throughout our entire body, activating our light in our immune system, in our endocrine system, in every one of our cells, filling every one of our cells with light through the cell membrane and the DNA of every one of our cells, and having that light in our beingness become brighter and brighter and brighter, and seeing that light fill your entire body. You are charged with light, so much love, so much compassion. And now beam that love and light out around the globe to Mother Earth, sending that light deep down within her soil, over all of nature, every tree and leaf and blade of grass, sending that light around the globe, over to the Far East, into China, to the Philippines, areas of great need, sending love and light, beaming love and light over the Middle East, sending love and light over Iran and Afghanistan, in Egypt, in Israel, and Pakistan, in Syria, and Libya, beaming love and light and blessings. And sending that light down through Africa to every orphanage, to every child. And beaming love and light and blessings all through Europe, and South America, Central America, and beaming love and light and blessings all throughout North America. And now send love, light, and blessings to every hospital, every school, to all of your family members. Sending love and light to everyone that's special in your life. And take another deep inhale. Vibrating love and light, going forward each day into your future, to everyone that you think about, you communicate with, that you beam love and light. And then slowly open your eyes. So how did that feel? Good, right? Like it feels like, sometimes we feel like we can't do anything, but it feels like you could do something, right? That you're doing something. It's how powerful our thoughts are. They're so incredibly, and just what if the vibration of your thought actually did influence something on the other side of the world? And what if enough people have the same thoughts and vibrate at the same level that it lifts the vibration, not only like it does in this room, but it lifts the vibration everywhere? What if it lifts the vibration around the world? What if it changes not only how we can change our destiny by changing our vibration, our thoughts? What if, as we change our destiny, that we change the destiny of the entire planet? And so, what if it does, right? So, 6 years ago, I started that process of using that exact technique and sending love and light around the world. And here's the most interesting thing that happened. I started achieving a lot more success. So you've got success over here, however defined, happiness, contentment, success in my business, more money. Let's just, so things seem to fall into place. They seem to fall together, whereas before they had been falling apart. They kept falling apart, and I kept picking them up, and it falling apart, and I kept picking up. Problem over here, I kept picking it up. And then I started operating and living my life differently, and things started falling together. Interesting, right? Interesting. And so, in vibrating and sending good thoughts to somebody else, something so much bigger than our lives, our world, our problem, like, oh, what am I going to wear? And, oh, you're laughing now, right? But when we're wondering what we're wearing, like, oh, I can't go out, my hair looks terrible. Like, I can't be on video, my hair doesn't look good enough. But of course, Rosie can. So when you start your day or connect with sending vibration to others, then the small things, or they're really big things to us, don't seem as big. When you're stuck in traffic, where most people are starting to get really stressed out, most people are like, you won't believe what just happened. I'm so frustrated. I got every red light on the way here, and this guy was driving so slow in front of me.
You weren't in my car.
Maybe I was. Maybe I was. And so, right, in that feeling of feeling frustration, the law of attraction would say that you're going to attract more to be frustrated with, right? And so that feeling of frustration or aggravation or disappointment doesn't have stickiness with you when you focus on things of a grander scale. And so in filling yourself up, notice how we filled ourselves up first with the light so that we could send the light out. So in filling ourselves up with light and filling ourselves up with success, filling ourselves up with the tools that we need, the confidence to walk into a meeting. So you've got a meeting over here, okay? It's the big deal, and you're going to negotiate the big deal. There it is. 4 o'clock. I'm meeting with them. Is it going to happen? Can I make this happen? What's going to happen? Yikes, right? Or, right, fill yourself up with so much success and confidence and knowing and certainty and power. Fill yourself up with infinite intelligence. What the heck? Why not? Right? You're not going to get it if you don't ask for it. So, just what if, before you walk into the meeting, you say, all right, I need confidence, so I'm going to ask for some confidence. And I need to feel really strong and powerful and courageous. And I also need some skill set. I need numbers. I need to remember those numbers. And to have the conversation flow a certain way. Right? So I'm in sync synchronicity with those people that I'm negotiating with over here. So in filling yourself up, in aligning with it, activating it, turning it on, having it get bigger, because we all have these things inside of us, but to grow them inside of us. And then walking to the meeting. And then what happens, right? So now you're bringing in a high vibration because you've filled yourself up with all of the things that you need to raise your vibration internally. Is it going to happen every time? No. So you're going to walk in and they're going to say, you know, not yet, not now. You're not the one. And then you walk out and you say, that is because something better is getting ready to happen. Oh, that was just practice for me. Because I'm going to have a bigger deal working over here. And I needed to practice my mojo over here. Get in sync, get it down, know what I'm going to say, practice over here. And so when you walk out with the knowingness, cool, I got to practice there. It's a high five and celebrate, or that's okay. Something bigger and better is on the way. Because something bigger and better is on the way when you walk out is going to vibrate, 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 bigger and better, bigger and better. Something great happening, right? And then like a magnet, you'll attract it sometime in your life. Now, putting time parameters in. I tried it, didn't work, right? We don't know what the time parameters are, if we even believe that there is time. Can we expand time, collapse time? What do we know, right? We know it goes by quickly, right? 1 minute, I was with a friend earlier today, and she said to me, how long have we known each other? Now, I knew it had been a lot of years, right? So how long have we known each other? She actually posted on my Facebook. 23 years. We were thinking, I was even thinking it was longer than that when I walked out, because I was still thinking about it, right? So in our lives, right, we do have, well, we have a certain period of time, right, in this lifetime, and it's never too late, right? We can get the mojo going at any point, at any time. Actually, most super success, mega success happens to people over what age? Who knows? 50, that's the number. Jack had the number, that's the number, 50. Do you know, and so most of us think once we're 50, we're like, oh, I probably missed it. The younger people are going to get it. They're going to get all the super success. Darn, right? And that's one of the reasons I am so driven. Who used the word driven? That's why I'm so driven, because approaching 52 and just now getting into the mojo, right? So that others can see that it doesn't matter what age you are. It's whenever you decide this is your time, it doesn't matter. And the second half of life, and each decade that goes by can be even grander because you know more and you can just keep raising that vibration. Raising that vibration, and maybe what you want in your definition of success changes, right? So, in sending thoughts and vibration inward, filling yourself up, and then sending outward to the globe, right? So that was pretty easy, right? You could do that, I mean, as a guided, like on your own. Who does something like that on their own? Okay. So now the next level to that would be, anybody have any conflict going on this year? Any person that kind of rubs them the wrong Anybody have somebody in their life that rubs them the wrong way?
Yeah, we just had that discussion on the way.
I see Victoria going, 2 hands. All right, 2 hands. All right. All right. So it's safe to say that we all pretty much have something going on, someone in our lives. That's challenging. So here's the deal with that person. That's the sweet spot. I know. That's the sweet spot. And so, and that is really challenging. You're like, well, first off, I'm just going to bless everybody except for. That's what I do. I'll do it to everybody except for. Right? Just not them. Everybody else. And I'm good because I'm a good person. I'm blessing everybody. Everybody but them. Because they don't deserve it. Right? Because they've really given me a hard time. My life did X, Y, Z because of this person. Right? The story that goes on in our mind. So the sweet spot is to be able to send love, light, and blessings to that person. So what I'm going to, pardon? More blessings. And if you're sending blessings to that, if you're already doing that, if you do that, so if you have a process in place, and I know many of you are part of my Life Intention program and retreats, and so I talk about this and I teach this. I've guided audios that do this. But so it is the magic. It's the sweet spot. And you feel the shift go on. And I'll share with you. It does work. Well, and so Rosie, do you want to share? Okay.
I have a conflict with a family member, and we're having a reunion. And this person was very gracious enough to help me get to this reunion, but it was like this agony, anxiety. Yeah, because you feel like, oh my gosh, here's someone who I've had oil and vinegar. And I told her to come to talk to Wendy about it, and I said, how am I going to handle this? I'm this person, and I really should be joyous about it, but I have this agony. So she told me to send him blessings every morning. Start my day off like this, and I'm like, start my day off like that? So the next day I come home and tell my husband about this. He's like, whatever. So, and I think it was 6 weeks we had a time frame. So she goes, you better get started right away. So, like she says, you think about everything else. What am I going to wear to the reunion? I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to do all these things. And then I'm like, okay, now I got to do this. And it was the hardest thing to do. But I just talked to them and, okay, so that night when I left her office, I got an email. Because now I have to stay, I'm not staying at their house, I'm staying at a hotel. They were gracious enough to make the hotel arrangement. So now I have to send them an email thanking them and talking about being up at 1 in the morning. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say, thank you. And I said, thank you, I knew this took a lot of your time. And it was my pleasure to do it for you. Let's go back and forth. Anyway, now I'm going in 2 weeks, and I'm like, I can't believe I had so much anxiety about this. So it's
taken that sting, the angst, the thing, the feeling that you get like here.
Yeah, we've talked about things that are going to happen there at the reunion. So we've had like about the cake or about this, so conversations. But it's like, wow, if I didn't go through all this, I don't know. I think I wouldn't be enjoying myself as much. So I think I could just go. That's great. Yeah, and it's in 2 weeks. Oh, have fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. And and for example, I'm going to share with you a process. I haven't really talked about this before, and it's coming up for me now, so I'm going to share it with you. It's also another technique that I've shared with somebody else. That is in the room when we were talking about challenges with a person, a family member. And so just what if, like, you take people and you switch their roles, okay? So one of the people that I was having a challenge with, overcoming that angst, was my ex-husband. Now there's a reason why they're your ex, right? And so, but knowing deep down inside and doing this work and saying, I know that for my children's best interest, I'm being called to move forward with this, and actually to try different techniques and kind of feel them out on my own to see how they work. Now, I had already been sending love, light, and blessings. So let me just share that part, okay, that level. But I really wanted to have miracles. And so different level than just like getting by and feeling good about things, but I wanted miracles to flow into my life in regard to this area of my life and specifically around my children. And so I took my husband, who at the time, I guess he would have been in his 40s, right? And then my son, one of my sons, I took one of my sons who is the youngest, right? And then I had them like switch roles. So I had my son grow up and then be my husband, and then I took the role of his mother, of my ex-husband's mother. Like the unconditional love that I feel for my son, that doesn't matter what he does and no matter, you know, what happens to him in life, I am still going to love him unconditionally. And what am I going to do? I'm going to forgive him for anything that he does. I'm not going to judge him. I'm going to let go of anything and everything, right? And, you know, I may not like some of the things going on, but I'm going to have such an open, loving heart. So the heart space, like the heart chakra, is just going to be so open. And so as I moved into that place of being my ex-husband's mother, like actually closing my eyes and being my ex-husband's mother, growing myself up to be whatever age that is, 75, and then having a 45-year-old son in reverse. And what did I feel, right? The unconditional love and the compassion and the understanding for all of his traits, everything that he is. And that at that level, and it was really like a mind game to be able to move in and out of different roles of people. But just close your eyes and just imagine whoever the person is, and then change the role that you have with that person. But here's the cool stuff about it. Here's what happens, is that it actually then, it softens all of your feelings around the person, where you start to feel the unconditional love for the person. So that I could start feeling unconditional love for my ex-husband. So, I mean, okay, so who buys into the fact that we're all one? Okay, half the room. Okay, so if there is no separation, and we don't know, there's so much we don't know, right? I mean, everything that they knew in science 10 years ago, they said, we miscalculated. It's all a redo. All that stuff we told you 10 years ago, that was all, you know, that's the way it was, forget about it, right? So just maybe everything that we know to be true today is going to be a whole different story 10 years from now, right? So if we're all connected, if we are, and if we all could possibly be one, right? So then that other person in your life that's causing you angst, maybe they're there for a reason, and maybe the reason is to help you grow, and maybe they're strategically placed there so that you can find it in yourself then to love that person and care about that person and have compassion for that person. And then when you do, it comes like this, a boomerang, and then it becomes you. Like the blessings that you send to another bless you. Sweet spot, extra credit when the person's difficult. Because, come on, it's really easy to love somebody that's lovable, right? Really easy. So do we think we're getting extra credit for that? Do we think that's the sweet spot for the miracles? Getting a miracle, that must require some extra stuff, right? And so all that, the success and keeping the vibration, we might know all of this work. I have only started doing this work, really self-help development, 6 years ago, and I have met a lot of people on this journey that have been doing it for 20 or 30 years. And you know what? If they have a lot of stuff going on in their life, then there are certain pieces that they're only doing part of it, right? We pick and choose what we want to do, right? We do the stuff that like, yeah, we know that stuff. Yeah, we're going to, we'll send good thoughts around the world. And yes, we're going to, we'll set intention, do some of the stuff if we feel comfortable. But whenever we start to feel uncomfortable, which would be we're really uncomfortable when we send good thoughts and vibration and love, light, and blessings to somebody that really, really gives us angst. Right? And so, and the battle that you have in your mind, winning that battle between you and you, when you can start winning that battle, then you can start actually really controlling your thoughts and placing deliberate thoughts in there. And so, for whatever you want over here under the umbrella of success, right? So there's always some work to do, and it's never out there, it's always in here. So if you're not achieving the success that you want in life, there's still stuff in here. Whatever it is, it's probably so buried you don't even know it's there. And so whatever that is, right, is just our journey in the classroom of living, of life. And so that's why you hear the stories all the time that somebody, like when they're older and just right before they transition or whenever, that all of a sudden they go through like, you know what, I should have said I'm sorry to so-and-so. And that really didn't matter to me at this point as I'm getting ready, it's, so to think of those things actually now, right? And to clean out the closet of anybody. And then here's the deal. So now that's us forgiving other people. Now just maybe, somewhere along the line, we hurt somebody and we don't even know. Think that's possible? Yeah. Because they don't know that they hurt us, right? So we don't even know, right? How would we know who we may have hurt, even with a tone, right? A look on a face. And so where that other person felt sad or disappointed, their expectations were for something else, right? So then it comes down to then asking to be forgiven. And that is between you and you, right? And so that's the cool stuff about this. It's like all going on inside of yourself. It's like cleaning out the closet. So once you clean out all of that stuff, then you have more room to fill yourself with the high energy, the vibration that's going to attract more of what you want in your life. So what we're going to do right now together, because this is going to be really cool to have all the energy together in the room doing it, is to think of somebody that has been a challenge to you. Woo! Okay, see, easy. So, and I can tell, and by the way, several of you moved your body in a certain way, right? So it's living inside of you. Because like if you said, oh, okay, all right, I'm going to think of somebody, and then you just kind of, but if you moved your body and you had a reaction, by the way, that feeling lives inside of you. And so, of course, what we want to do is we want to replace that feeling of something not so great, probably a lower vibrating feeling, and replace it with a higher vibrating feeling, which would be the highest vibration of love and happiness and peace. We want those vibrations in our beingness.
Wendy, I've tried so hard this past week to try not to think it's two people, about those two people at all anymore.
So that's, okay, so let's talk about that, because that's important.
Thinking, so I said, you know what? Just to give me peace of mind, I'm not going to think about him at all.
All right.
Every time I think about him, I just put him over there again.
But that's what we were told.
Yeah, yeah. And so, okay, so the
and
thought
then I come
keeps...
here and you're telling me to
But you know, just because we keep putting it over there, does it still exist? Yes. Okay, so what we want to do is say, come on out. Let me put you here, right? And so your face, all right, I can share this, right? Your nose went up, like, right? So I'm going to suspect that we haven't sent him a lot of love and blessings. Her, him, her.
I have a CD, a very nice CD, and I did it once.
All right.
2 weeks ago, to everyone, including, you know, the animals and the whatever. It was very nice. I tried my best, but I mean, these two people have done really great damage in my life, in every aspect that they can think of. I mean, one's financially, she has taken me to court. She has sued me that I'm going to kill her daughter. Her daughter was 2 years old, and that's all lies. I did go through all that, but I had to pay a big price in the lawyer fees. And this past year she kept on, and then this year she's starting again. So it has been going for 2 years, and I haven't done anything to the creature.
So I want to ask you a couple questions about that. I think this is really important, and thank you so much for sharing, because we all can relate to this, right, in our lives. So are there some areas where you're not achieving things that you'd like to achieve?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, all right, a lot. So I just want you to recognize the parallel there, okay? It's really significant and important. And so first and foremost, okay, that you absolutely can. So you can. And so together, so we'll hold the space with you, okay? And so secondly, that is the sweet spot for the miracles. Whatever challenges that you're having in your life, whatever they are. So everything happens for a reason, right? And so this is divinely orchestrated, and there's intervention here. That you're here, like divine intervention, though. And so this process for you in actually taking it out, and I want to share the 3 or 4 people in my life that had really wronged me, and it was very, very, very challenging. The Love, Light, and Blessings process was 365 days, consistent. And then at the end of that 365 days, was it challenging and difficult to do it? Like every day, 3 o'clock every day. So I set an alarm every day at 3 o'clock. And so what happened? Miracles and so many blessings came flowing into my life. Like at like the 365th day, at any point, like you'd give up, you're like, you know, I did this. It's like not working. 50 days straight. What, the book says 30 days, you know? And so depending on how deep the wounding is, it all depends on how deep, because we can only go a certain level, and to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, like it takes time. So you might be scratching the surface for the first 6 months, and especially a deep wound is going to take longer. So in that process, but I so know that to be true, and so it depends on how much you want it for your life, how much desire and want and commitment that you have that you're willing to do this. And with somebody that I met with earlier today, what she did in this exact process, and she actually set her phone with an alarm to do it every day, and it happens to be with her ex-husband, and she's doing it for her, she's doing it for her children, she's doing it for her future, she's doing it for her success. And so all of that, you know, if everything in your life was exactly like you wanted it to be, I'd say, but it just, you know, they match up. So with that being said, since we can all think of someone from our past, right? So it'll be very powerful for us to do it collectively as a group together, okay? And it's my intention for you to have blessings and miracles and success in your life. That is my intention. That's why I stand up before you today doing these workshops in this way. Having the conversation, not just the business conversation around success and then the airy-fairy energy stuff over here, but marrying them together because they are like this. And that is where the miracle, and that's where the mojo and all of the oomph, that's where the magnet comes in. So we'll do this together. Take a deep inhale and bring that person in front of you.
The two of them?
It can be two people. It can be two people. Bring them both in front of you. So we're going to bring them forth in front of us. And we are going to acknowledge, we acknowledge the difficulty and the pain. Oh, it's like, wow. Okay.
If that's your ex-husband, we're in trouble. Okay.
So isn't that interesting that went off there? And so we acknowledge it. And although we remember, we acknowledge this person or these people in the true divine essence of who they are. And as we fill our entire beingness with light, every cell in our body with light, we are filled with love, with so much love. We are the pure essence of love, and we are compassion. Love and compassion for everyone and everything. Knowing that everyone comes into our life for a reason, to teach us to become more of who we are truly meant to be, loving and compassionate people. And so we ask for help. We ask for courage and strength as we beam love and light and blessings to that individual or that group. As we beam them, we open the heart. So visualize your heart, and your heart is pulsating. Your heart is vibrating and radiating. You are radiating love. And you are beaming love out directly to the person or people standing in front of you, right in front of you. Wishing them well, sending love and light and blessings. Holding a high vibration and a high frequency. Beaming that light, having that light get brighter and brighter. Now seeing that light cover their entire body, the outside of their entire body. And then as you vibrate that love and light inward, turning up the light inside of your body. Holding that bright light, sending that bright light with you throughout this day and going forward into your future. And then slowly open your eyes. So how did that feel? Were you able to think of somebody, and how did that feel? Hard.
And I feel pain right here.
Okay, so this is very interesting to acknowledge, okay? So actually where you know where the pain is?
From my back, which I'm suffering from my back, all the way to here. From the person that was on the left-hand side, the other one.
Okay, so whatever that is, to just acknowledge it and know that you've started on the path of some true healing inside of you. Anything that we just push away and we forget about, it lives, it's buried. It could be there from 10 or 20 years ago, but it's still there. And you want healthy, happy cells. You want every one of your cells to be like a happy face in there. And every one of those cells to be surrounded by a heart. Picture every one of your cells to be a heart. And the DNA in every one of your cells, you want to see it shaped in a heart.
I did actually began 2 days ago to take flower essences for hate, to release all the hate. And
So in, Debbie?
Can I share something quickly with
Sure.
what you're saying?
Absolutely.
About really worked in my life.
Yes.
3 years ago, I'm a school teacher. I worked at the same school 23 years. I grew up there. I loved it. And a new administrator came and made my life miserable to the point where I follow rules constantly. I never do anything wrong. I was written up. I thought my life was over. And I actually had to leave my school that I loved. And I really fought to, why don't they move him? Why do I have to leave? I was there. And I was devastated, and for a year, I held on to so much hate and anger to a very dear friend said, actually, you should pray for him. I'm like, what? Pray for him? She goes, you have to feel sorry because one day he'll meet his maker, and you have to answer for these things when you do harm to others. And I started doing that, and I did it faithful for about 6 months. And I was supposed to go to hearings and court cases, and that my attorney called me and said, okay, it got postponed. So I kept praying for him. But before I knew it, like, I started feeling happy again. I loved my new school where I'm at. And like another year went by. And now we're in the 3rd year, and they keep postponing it and moving it. And I joke and say I'm going to be retired by the time they ever get to this hearing. And like all this evidence he supposedly has had has fallen through, and it's such a big mess. And when I finally get there, I feel now that it's going to be dismissed and I'll be okay. But for a year of my life, I shut down. I had so much hate and anger, and he was living his life all happy. It was only hurting me. So you have to let that go and bless them so that hopefully those blessings help them to be a kinder and nicer person. And you know, eventually it'll disappear. It really does work. But like she said, it took almost 2 years. And now in the 3rd year, I still bless him and I wish him well, because I know karma will kick his ass one day. And,
see, that's what I always say. I always say that is karma's business to take care of, and it's not my business to take care of that. And so when you think of it like that, so thank you.
It's so hard because that
it's like this. If those feelings are inside of you, the other person does not know you're feeling it. Who are the feelings hurting?
Yeah, just you.
So here's what we don't know. We don't know if one of those cells doesn't turn into a hiccup and mutates to something later. So it's all about your health and well-being and wholeness. Now I'm going to share one last story. So I have a friend / client, and so I've known her for a very long time, this girl, and she was going to court, speaking of a court case, and somebody was suing her, and she was really ticked off about it. And she's like, that son of a gun, he's suing me this and that and the other thing. So I actually talked to her the whole time she was going to the courthouse, okay? And so when she went into the courthouse, this is what happened. So she looked at him, and she's like, you son of a... And she said, Wendy said to bless you. Ugh. I'm going to bless you. I'm sending you blessings. Ugh. I'm blessing him. I'm blessing him. I'm blessing him. That was exactly how it went down. So she won that case. She won that case. Now, it could be a coincidence, but, okay, maybe it's not. And actually now she's so hook, line, and sinker, and like, you know, all the work. I mean, now she practices all of this work on a regular basis, and she's a fairly young girl. So to be able to have that experience and say, just what if? And she was able to know her thoughts, where they were going, that she started going downhill, and, you know, it still happens. Yes.
But when you do that, aren't you supposed to do it with a pure heart and not, I hate you, I love you, you know what I mean?
Wherever you are, wherever you start. So you have to start somewhere, right? So you can't have a pure, dancing, loving heart so to go back and forth, to at least to be able to say, oh, you know, and be able to go in between more and more and more.
That anxiety in your heart, like that rock here, even here you have one thing. This is still here. I mean,
so whatever tools. So for example, I had a really challenging situation this week. I had a really challenging situation, and somebody sent me an email, and it wasn't very nice. And so what do you think I did? So I sent the person blessings. Now, I was really having a hard time, and I couldn't even go to sleep because this happened at like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, can you believe this? I mean, I'm doing like everything. I'm backwards, forwards, and I'm getting this email. Like, whoa, you know? And so I was really struggling. I'm like, all right, I can't sleep. I need to listen to my own audio. Like, you know, so I'm like, all right, Wendy, you know? So that's exactly what I was doing. So you want to hear the interesting thing that happened the next morning? I got an email and asked if we could talk on the phone. What time was I available? We talked on the phone, and the person was actually, I could hear them sobbing a bit, and said, I am so sorry. You know, I feel so much love for you. I don't know what came over me. I don't even know. Please, can I take back those words and all of that? Now, and so, and the whole time, and although I had trouble sleeping, going to sleep, like falling asleep that night, you know, I was up for I usually go to sleep really easily and all that, you know, so for a couple hours, I mean, I was like, oh, and I was playing that game, like, all right, I need to let it go and just, I am blessing them already and I need to get some sleep. You know, so that's what we go through. But then look at how the outcome was the very next day. Now, I wouldn't think that that would have happened that way if I would have went, you know, I'm going to write them back. Boom. What are they talking about? Blah, blah, blah. It's all you, not me. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I could have written them all of that.
And people do that.
And so, well, I didn't. And I actually went ahead and I did something nice for them. Now, they didn't know what I did, but I actually did something really behind the scenes, not even going to say anything about it, but I decided to go and not even just send them love, light, and blessings, but I did something beyond that was going to help them in something. So I went ahead and did that. And so, you know, that's all about me and me, knowing how these things work, right? And wanting all of my cells to be as pure as possible. And also, it was the right thing to do. Because listen, anybody here ever make a mistake? Right? We make mistakes. And so that's part of the human experience, right? To make mistakes. And so, in moving forward, right, and whatever it is that you want more of in your life, whatever that is, whether it's the joy and laughter, more lightness, right? We can get so serious about things and whatever we're focused on, we really, 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 really want it, right? So whether it's some lightness and more laughter to laugh and have fun, right? Or whether it's to feel more calm and inner peace. Whether it's to launch a new business and be successful in the business. Whether it is to make more money or save more money or go on a great vacation, whatever it is over here, because that's your definition of what success is. And this is really great to even set the intention and set the goal for the beginning of the year, because we have all year long to set a goal, to set an intention that this year is going to be your best year, to set an intention for that every day. And then start again, you know, because we think of 12 months and the year starting and a clean slate. Think of every month as a clean slate. We hear the saying, today is the first day of the rest of my life and clean slate every day. But look at everything in blocks of time. It's February 1st. This is a brand new month. This is the month that I choose to have the best month ever. This is going to be my month. And then break it down even further. Just today I'm going to have a fabulous day. Today I'm going to feel good. I'm going to have a successful day, whatever that is. Successful could be getting to the gym and working out. Be able to say, I worked out, I went to the gym, I went spinning, right? And feel so good about that. To acknowledge all of that and to celebrate all of that, because the more that you just celebrate the small things, the higher you're going to raise your vibration. And the whole key is to keep the vibration as high as you can. And then when you feel it, shift off. Come and surround yourself with other people that are also vibrating at a high level. I know, Debbie, you sent me an email today saying I'm looking forward to getting together with everybody, right? To get some infused with positivity.
Yes. Positive people.
Yeah, and so we need that because there's so much negative out there. So in community, we are meant to be in relationship together. And so that's where we shine, and that's where we help and support each other so that everyone else's success becomes our success. So when we see other people achieving great things in their lives, that we feel that celebration with them. And we remind them sometimes, wow, that's amazing. Let's celebrate that. Let's definitely celebrate that. So I just want to close by having us just project forward high vibration and frequency into our future. So we're going to imprint this, take a deep inhale, setting an intention to hold a high vibration, a high frequency into our future. Going forward throughout the month of February, every day through the month of February, creating an amazing, phenomenal, extraordinary month. and every month throughout this year of 2012, attracting the right people and opportunities and situations into our life, health and wellness and happiness, security and safety, and projecting that high vibration forward every day throughout our lives. And then take one last inhale and slowly open your eyes. So it just, every time I open my eyes, I don't know if you're experiencing this and come back, it's like you leave for a bit, right? And you can feel yourself floating, like actually lifting up and feeling lighter. And what I love too, that we're closing a little early, we're gonna celebrate Celia's birthday and cake. And so we're gonna share a little bit about her cake. We'll open the door so we